What's up guys, Trev Wilson here. Welcome back to the Bourbon Wrench. I've been challenged. So you remember I've released a video a couple weeks ago talking about the top 5 bourbons you need according to Reddit. The same top 5 list has been revitalized, okay? This time they switched it around and it's the top 5 ryes that you need. Same thing as last year. Each channel is doing their review and then challenging another channel. J Pitt over from Hot Buttery Friggin' Rolls has challenged me. I will give you a forewarning. I am not the biggest rye guy, okay? But when I'm challenged, I answer the call. So it's the same original list from Radagast Nut Brown. But this time it's for ryes. It's the top 5 ryes. Hear me out. I am not the biggest rye guy, so my list is going to be more of 5 ryes for bourbon drinkers. Don't expect any fancy, crazy, high rye ryes because that ain't me. So let's just get into the list. If you remember, the first one was a daily drinker. Now here's where I'm gonna kind of twist things already. I don't drink rye daily. In fact, I can go weeks or maybe a month or 2 without drinking any rye. So when I hear daily drinker, I'm thinking more of when I'm in the mood for rye, which one am I reaching for? And the bottle that I tend to always go to when I'm in the rye mood, when I have that rye itch, Russell's Reserve Single Barrel Rye. Comes in at 52% alcohol, 104 proof. This guy is absolutely extraordinary. I'm a huge fan of the regular Russell's bourbon, the 10-year, the single barrel store picks. They are freaking incredible. This is no different. In terms of rye, this is easily one of my favorites. With this bottle, you're starting to get hints of those rye notes, that the evergreen, the spearmint, and you know, the rye spices are starting to shine through, but not enough to take it away from the bourbon side of things, okay? This will seem familiar to you when you drink it. If anything, this is like a Girl Scout Thin Mint cookie. You're getting this chocolatiness, a little bit of the mintiness, but still tons of sweet bourbon notes. Absolutely friggin' incredible. If I had a daily sipper, you know, this would be it. Russell's Reserve Single Barrel Rye. Next up on the list of the 5 ryes you need is a cheap mixer. Now, forewarning, what I wanted to put on this list is Old Forester Rye. 2 things happen. 1, everyone picks Old Forester Rye. 2, I went to the store to get Old Forester Rye and no store had it. Old Forester, I don't know what you're doing. You know, I had nothing but good things to say about you, how you're always available and you're always there for me. You failed me. That being said, this bottle I picked still fits the category for me well, and it kind of shines some light on something that I haven't seen many other people talk about. That's Knob Creek 100 proof rye. Now this is an older labeling. Like all things Knob Creek, these dudes change their label. It seems like every 6 months they have a new label or a new bottle or a new something. They just can't make up their minds. I think this stuff's really good. For 100 proof, this particular bottle was 26 bucks. Another forewarning, I do not actually make cocktails with rye. In fact, I don't drink many whiskey cocktails, but if I had to make one, I would not be mad to use this one as a mixer. It has the Knob Creek notes. It still has some of that nuttiness, but some of those rye notes, again, it's a barely legal rye, so you're still getting tons of bourbon notes, but just a hint of what rye has to offer, okay? It's still kind of showing you, here's a little more herbally-ness going on with it. So I would drink this in a cocktail. I drink it neat. I quite enjoy this one. You can get store picks of the Knob Creek rye. They're all incredible. They're really, really good. So don't pass up on this bottle. Don't sleep on it. All right, the next bottle on the list is a rye to impress your guests. My rye collection is limited, so I don't have much to impress you with, but what I do have is Jack Daniel's Single Barrel Proof Rye. This dude was pretty hard to get. It showed up, everyone freaked out about it, it disappeared, and now it's gone. I was lucky enough to get this one bottle, and that's the last I've seen of it. That being said, I feel like if a guest come over and I'm like, hey, check out what I got, some of that Jack Rye, they're gonna be impressed. They're gonna be like, dang man, I wish I could've got that. Well, now you can try it because I got it right here. I'm trying to impress you. This particular one's 66.05%. The black ink. I know some of you out there care about the ink color because some people sign this with red and green and blue. I don't know what all colors they use, but this is the black ink person. Whoever's using a black pen, that's what this one is. I love Jack Daniel's Single Barrel Proof Bourbon. It is no stranger to my channel, and getting this rye, I thought, hey, I like that one. Maybe I'll like the rye. Turns out I was right. Absolutely love this bottle. This is a flavor bomb. You want an explosion of delicious rye on your tongue? Here you go. Try this one. Granted, you know, you might not be able to get it. If you do have it, you know what I'm talking about. This thing is a banger, is a hitter. They should bring it back. I think it's been so successful and I think it's been so well received. I don't think this is the last time we'll see it. They'll probably release this again. I mean, they have to. It's that good. There's no way that they're gonna make it once and then we're never gonna make it again. No. Bottle to impress your guests, this Jack Daniel's bottle, for sure. Next up, Friday Night Sipper. Now when I'm thinking of a Friday Night Sipper, you know, barrel proof. Now the Jack Daniel's, that would have fit perfect for a Friday Night Sipper. I can't get it again. I'm not gonna be drinking it on all my Fridays, but you know what I can get? Wild Turkey Rare Breed Rye, 112.2 proof or barrel proof. You know, it's Wild Turkey, so their barrel proofs are a little bit lower. Still full of flavor, barrel proof. It'll wake you up, it'll get you to where you need to be. I will reiterate that I am not the biggest rye drinker, so the more bourbon tasting it is, the better I like it. I will say this one, I'm starting to get a little more rye notes, so I'm getting a little more mintiness and, you know, spearmint gum type stuff going on with it, you know, that menthol-y thing, whereas the other ones are a lot more sweet. This is kind of teetering on more rye side of things, you know, and as a bourbon drinker who's not particularly fond of those high rye notes, this one still fits the bill. I still enjoy this one. I still really enjoy it, so Friday Night Sipper. All right, that leaves one other bottle, a special occasion bottle. As a bourbon drinker, I do not have many rye bottles, okay? I don't own many fancy ryes. I don't own many ryes in general. I've seen it on other lists, and that's because it's really freaking good. Midwinter's Night Dram. This one is Act 7, Scene 4. I got it over a year ago, and I still have quite a bit of it. My special occasion for this bottle, again, I'm not reaching for rye all the time. I don't know if it's just this cool label, the cool bottle, the fact that it says Midwinter on it, but this is like a Christmas bottle to me. Every Christmas, I'm like, you know what? I want to drink my Midwinter's Night Dram. This is a holiday bottle to me. This is Thanksgiving, Christmas, late night by the fire, in a robe, and nothing else. Midwinter's Night Dram sets the mood. I'm a sucker for marketing. Super cool bottle. I mean, it just looks awesome. Again, with this bottle, you're starting to get a little more of those rye notes, that higher rye content notes that you get with them, but it's finished in French oak port barrels. I think that port really adds a layer of sweetness that kind of covers those, you know, menthol-y notes that I typically don't like. If you're a bourbon drinker, then you're used to sweet notes. I think this port finish on the Midwinter's Night Dram adds a layer of sweetness that bourbon drinkers like. I like it, I really like it. Special occasion bottle, Midwinter's Night Dram. That is a list. 5 ryes for bourbon drinkers. I'm calling it that because I'm a bourbon drinker. I'm not really a rye guy. And these are 5 ryes that I thoroughly enjoy. I think they're approachable to bourbon drinkers. I think the flavors are pretty reminiscent of bourbon. This is just kind of teasing you what rye has to offer. If you're getting into rye, if you've never had a rye and you want to try it, one of these is probably better for you versus jumping into a completely like 100% rye or a 95.5 rye. Those notes are drastically different than bourbon. It's a whole other ball field. These ryes are definitely kind of in the middle, saying, yeah, here's some bourbon notes, but here's a hint of what rye has to offer. If you like those rye notes, then yes, take a step up, try some higher rye ryes, see what they have to offer. I think it's helpful to try some lower rye ryes, get your feet wet, kind of dabble into it, see if you're okay with those notes, the rye notes that do come through on these ryes, and if you do, then jump into some more aggressive ryes. So, that being said, guys, that's my list. Those are my 5 ryes for bourbon drinkers. Before we go, the whole premise of this is for a channel to do their bottles and then to call someone else out. So I'm calling Jason from the Mash and Drum out. Jason has a massive collection. He probably has every rye under the sun. So it'll be interesting to see what his 5 are. Good luck narrowing it down to 5, Jason. Let's see what you got. Alright guys, hope you guys enjoyed it. Hit the like button, hit the subscribe button on your way out of here. Until next time, I'm Trev Wilson. I'll see you all in the next video.